Bloomfire exists to help organizations to create a social learning environment. We find that most organizations to date have focused on curriculum-based training, which is the same way we've been learning for the last several thousand years. Unfortunately, statistics show that that only gets your employees about 20% of the information they need to actually do their job. So the other 80% is actually learned socially by asking the individual in the cubicle next to you, sending an email, getting on a phone call, and trying to figure out how to be successful in your role by working with other individuals. Unfortunately, all that communication is done on a one-to-one basis, and that's where 80% of the information that individuals need to be successful is gleaned from. So Bloomfire focuses on the 80% that helps your employees truly be successful in their job, allowing them to engage in the topics that are important for your business, to retain your employees, and helping you to create an outsourced training group through the employees that you've already paid for by allowing them to engage in the conversation, create content, curate content, and help other individuals get answers to the problems that they're having today, and then scaling that information to your organization. Statistics show that an average employee spends 20% of their time trying to find the information that they need to do their job right now. So if you look at this from an overhead perspective, if we can cut 25 to 50% of that time down that your current employees are spending searching for information, then there's hard dollars associated with the ROI and cost justification of bringing a solution like Bloomfire in. We consistently show that we're able to reduce that time by between 25 and 50%. So the question is, how many employees do you have? What's the fully loaded cost of an FTE? And are you interested in grabbing that efficiency back? So we have clients ranging from the technology sector through to financials. We find that we fit a very broad spectrum of clients today based off of the fact that we're solving a fairly common issue that all organizations deal with, which is how do we scale getting the right information to our employees at the right time to meet their needs. That's a problem that we've been dealing with since the beginning of time, effectively. How do we memorialize the conversations and the information that's flowing through an organization, scale that out to employees, curate that content to make sure it's the right information, and then continue to engage the employees in the conversation going forward so that they see quick value on their end and they buy into the solution and start to become a part of the solution as opposed to continuing to say there's a problem here and we don't know how to solve it. There's a statistic out there called the 1-9-90 rule that a lot of folks in the learning environment are familiar with. So for any web-based community, what you'll find is on average 1% of the individuals in that community are creating the majority of the content. 9% of the individuals are actually commenting on that content, and 90% of the individuals are what we call lurkers. Those are people that are just viewing the content, getting value from it, but never engaging in the conversation. On average, our communities have around 30% of the individuals in that community actually creating content that's helpful to the organization as a whole. 75 to 85% of the individuals are actually commenting and getting involved in the conversation and giving feedback on that content that's out there. And we have 85 to 95% engagement in our communities, which is about 5x the industry standard. There are three main areas of the business that we show real impact in. That's sales and marketing, that's customer support, and that's human resources around onboarding and training. So let's talk through each. So from sales and marketing perspective, we find that we are able to reduce your time to money in sales cycles. One of our top clients, Ogilvy, serves a number of their customers with our solution. They found that they were able to actually increase deal size for their clients by 15% inside a 90-day time frame, which is really exciting from our perspective. On the customer support side, we have a number of clients, TMW, Sparefoot, etc., that are able to reduce the number of hours that their customer service reps were looking for answers to questions and actually reduced thousands of hours, saving hundreds of thousands of dollars in a 90-day period for their customer support teams. On the human resources and training side, we find that we're able to reduce the onboarding time for a new employee by between 25 and 50%, thus decreasing their time to contribution and allowing you to see value from that new employee much sooner. From a retention perspective, we see that we're able to engage employees in the conversation, in content, draw them into the organization, and thus reduce the churn level for organizations by between 20 and 25% as well.